Alright, we are recording. Let's rock and roll. We are going to load Bruce. Why does Bruce have two? What did I do? Okay. Brucey. Oh, I know what it is. Okay, let me go back. This is Bruce. This is Bruce specifically if we cannot romance Wayne. That is the romance arc. Okay. So we want to open this one. There we go. Like, I don't remember what I'm doing. Yeah. Yes, let's do a full recap. The funeral of Pearl Ann Scarlet, your cousin's mother and your aunt, seemed like something you shouldn't ignore, even considering your own late mother's rocky relationship with this side of the family. Welcome to our family's humble estate. Unfortunately, due to the current state of the house, only a few rooms will be safely accessible during your stay. I wouldn't go wandering anywhere else if you value your limbs. The floors have been known to give out. As the locks fall and the doors moan open, revealing the entrance to what once must have been an incredibly lavish ballroom. Faintly in the distance, you can hear the quiet notes of an old piano playing from another room. Wait a minute. You must be. Oh my god, wait. I heard somebody at school talking about how the long lost Scarlet heir was coming back to town this week, for like the funeral. That must be him. The country ambiance clashes terribly with the goth woman behind the counter, who has been eyeing you with something between curiosity and dawning horror. Oh my god. She was clearly trying to say that quietly, but of course you heard her. You're the only two people here. And then it emerges, an honest-to-goodness mountain lion, and there is something horribly wrong with it. But the mountain lion isn't finished, its body oozing from the fall. It pushes itself back to its feet, killing intent shining clear in its wide yellow eyes. And then I nearly had the thing. Hey, a run-in? What kind of run-in? Was it supernatural? Like I said, you won't believe it. Now put that dang camera away. At least it was a nice night, even if the circumstances leave something to be desired. Help yourself to jerky, and as for the bear, I was planning on having both cans myself. But I suppose I can't be convinced to spare one. Duke grapples with the thing as it grabs at his shotgun, pushing the barrel out of the way, as it grasps for Birdie with oddly jointed limbs, while Stella stares in shocked silence, as if paused, watching as the other creature attempts to wrestle Gretchen into the darkness, her desperate cries going unheeded. Its flesh is doughy and structureless, like a loosely packed sausage, your foot leaving an imprint in the chest, and it stumbles back, clutching at an odd wound. Your aim is flawless, and it strikes the creature square in its wretched face, lodging itself in its flesh. It scrambles back, its movements uncoordinated in its blindness, leaving Gretchen unharmed. Your cousin reaches for the headlights. Bruce, welcome home. Figure stepped out of the light, disappearing back into the darkness of the woods. I'm going to bed. I'll see you tomorrow. But listen, you better stay out of trouble today. I want you home by sunset. Don't want to hear any complaints. Just do what I asked and we won't have any more problems. Tabitha takes a few steps towards the door. Sunset. Before you get the chance to decide whether or not to answer it, the door opens. Oh, I'm sorry. I hope I didn't scare you. My name is Sybil. I'm a family friend. I just thought I should stop by to check in on you. You and the old hippie make your way back to the kitchen. She gives one of Tabitha's few mugs a thorough rinse before pouring you steaming tea from its thermos. Just don't make yourself a burden, all right? I have a lot to do today. Oh, are we talking about a certain young man who may or may not have caught the boss's eye? That Sam Wayne fella, wasn't it? Whatever. If anyone asks who never talked, got it. I don't want to disappear, too. I'm the only person in this town who truly cares about your safety. Don't forget that. Even if it's already too late to stop what's going to happen. Whatever you're looking for, you're barking up the wrong tree. So just go someplace else before. Tabitha once again foot trails off. Both she and Stella have noticed the girl with the dark braids and glasses sneaking along the ridge. It's Rosalina, Kanika. We found her. She's headed up the hill. They went in. Does Stella have no sense of self-preservation? My dad says our house is haunted. Nika is interrupted by a pair of thunderous knocks. Wait a second. Where'd 3 of you run off to? Are you kidding me? There's something in the darkness before you that's much louder, though you don't hear it, but you can feel it in your chest, like a deep growl of a predator. What do you think you're doing? Get away from there! Your cousin dives towards you, but not before the light from your phone illuminates the chamber. Bruce! Bruce, are you alright? Wait, Becca and Alexis are still down there. You can't just leave them there. I know which way they're going. They'll listen to you this time, I promise. The 3 of you manage to squeeze through the entrance just as the walls of the mine crack down. Tabitha doesn't say a word as the car cuts along the darkened road. There are 2 of them now. As you're ready to leave, Janie approaches from the far side of the kitchen. Tabitha remains between the 2 of you, impatiently tapping her foot. Oh, Bruce, before you go, I heard about what happened last night. I heard about it before Miss Tabitha mentioned it just now, and then I heard it again. I just wanted to say that I am so sorry you got caught up in that. I'll be praying for those poor kids. Can't imagine how scared they must be. Morning. Is a new blend ready? Of course. Bruce, if you'd like to keep Miles company, Tabitha and I will be just a minute. Well, you've never seen the man beside Duke before, but whoever he is big. If it ain't Bruce Bo, this is Miss Scarlet's cousin. He was there with Stella that night in the woods. It's a pleasure to meet you, sir. My name is Bo. I'm Duke's boy. Hope you've been faring better than since all that unpleasantness. Thought you weren't going to show. I put 2 and 2 together. I know you're related to the boss, and the other guys are all riled up. They're talking action. If they saw me out here with you, they'd think I was some kind of scab. But none of them will listen to me, especially now that they've got bigger things to worry about than a missing minor. I haven't forgotten about him, though. Anything you want to know, just ask. I wouldn't mind some company while I get some shelving done, if you'd like to join me. He's a dog. You can tell the dog is the mayor from his little sash and his fancy top hat. He has a regal air about him, almost as if he knew the position of authority he's been elected to. Before you can catch up to your companions, you're interrupted by a nervous man with a cross around his neck. Whoever he is, you can feel his desperation to make a good first impression. A self-sustained and self-fulfilling prophecy. Sounds like old Gretchen and the mayor may have some unresolved issues, wouldn't you say? I'm Pastor Daniel. I take it you're Bruce. Everyone's been buzzing about you. I'm so sorry about your aunt, but I'm sure she's in a better place now. If you'd never like to discuss your beliefs, my door's always open. Basement is what you might have expected out of a tortured artist who spends all of his time confined to his studio. Discarded canvases line its edges while trash and sketches leak out from their piles. In the corners of the room, hiding in bare cement floor, ghoulish faces coat the walls in paint, sneering out at their creator. Your mom is so scary. She can be real intense, kind of overprotective, which I guess makes sense. Anyways, make yourself comfortable. We'll have to forgive the mess. I've been distracted lately. Haven't been cleaning much. Dinner is already laid out. Dinner rolls, spaghetti, and a light salad. Kanika anxiously picks at her food. Stella is nervously talkative, and Reese is suddenly quiet and tense. His shoulders tight as his mother perches at the chair next to his. Dr. Kelly eyes all of you with sharp, fierce gaze. So, I was wondering if we could maybe watch a movie sometime this week? Well, Bruce is still in town. We'll have to see how you're feeling. I can handle a movie, Doc. Yeah, we'll just sit downstairs in the dark. Reese is used to that. I'm sure he'll be okay. You're always overestimating how much you can do, Reese. This is why you keep getting sick. If I get sick, so what? It's not like that's ever going to change. I'm sick every day and I'm not getting better. I just want to spend the last few I don't want to spend my last few miserable years of my life holed up in the basement alone just because seeing my friends has been deemed too strenuous. I'm an adult for God's sake. I can't believe I have to ask permission from my mom just to have friends over. Reese stops mid-sentence, wincing in pain and wrapping himself in his arms. Don't say things like that. I'm doing everything I can to try to fix. Silence. As Dr. Kelly's eyes shoot open. Reese? Reese abruptly pulls himself from the table and leaves. Hey, you're here sooner than I expected. Hope dinner went okay. Skir and Kanika startle as the door swings open. Seems I made it just in time. Let's get this show on the road. I don't have all night. Whoa. Whoa. This is where I've seen it. It appears on top of the stain. Stella pulls back the carpet, revealing a hatch, the floor around it stained reddish brown. I'm going for it. Wait, do you hear music? Movement stirs as a figure cloaked in shadow rises to attention. Stella? There you are. I would have found you sooner, but the resident clearly doesn't want me here. Doesn't seem to have the same issue with these miserable little parasites. Bottom feeders always manage to slip through the cracks, don't they? The sins of the father are to be laid upon the children. One of you must forfeit. It doesn't matter which. Bullshit! I hope I didn't come too late. It wants something, doesn't it? And I think you know which of you should volunteer. You must be joking. Let's just leave. Agreed, Sybil. You got in here. Can you get us out? Sybil sighs. Tabitha, are you sure you want to leave this business unfinished? Absolutely, this is not our problem. If you think it's the best course of action, yes, I can get you out. It's only a question of seeing through the illusion. We're in a basement, even if all your senses are telling you otherwise. Try closing your eyes and remembering where you are. Sorry, I can't talk right now. See you later. She hurries off down the road. Before I go, Sybil places a hand on your arm, holding you back for a moment. I'm sure you have questions after everything you saw tonight, but let's not get into it here. I think everyone could use a little rest and relaxation right now, yourself included. If you swing by the tea room sometime tomorrow, say early afternoon, you and I can have a little chat. I'll see you then, Bruce. You don't even notice yourself entering the guest room and falling into bed. Suddenly, you're just there, buried under your family's musty covers. The spirit of Charles Shaw Jr. now commands the entirety of Town Hall, a swirling void of wrath and despair that the people of this town will have to learn to ignore. Disaster looms its tallest yet over Scarlet Hollow. Wake up. When I wake up, you open your eyes. It is a new day. Last night seems so far away, you can almost pretend the horrors you witnessed in the annex were nothing but a nightmare chased away by the harsh morning light. But you know that the furious spirit of Charles Shaw Jr. yet lingers, locked behind the door of the town hall, still tied to the earth by its hatred for you and Tabitha. An involuntary shudder runs down your spine. Your thoughts are interrupted by the buzz of your phone on the nightstand. Hey, have you heard from Stella? I haven't been able to get a hold of her. Thought she might have checked in with you. We check your messages. There's nothing from Stella. Just Stella disappear like this sometimes? Kinda, but with everything going on, I don't feel comfortable letting her run off on her own. Look, I know we haven't exactly gotten along, but we should meet up in town and look for her together. Looks like you have your morning plans in order. You open the drawer. The two possums stare up at you. They both have a bread bowl. A bread now. That's nice. You wave at them. They continue to stare at you blankly in response. You close the drawers. This is their home now. There's nothing you can do to change that. You make your way to the closet. There's no denying it. The doll moved at some point since your most recent visit. But your long-dead relative's creepy doll isn't the only thing that's different. Someone was in here. Something to mull over for the rest of your day. You might as well take a shower before starting the rest of your day. I don't care about Stella. You step into the guest bathroom and into the shower. It feels good to wash away the grime of last night's haunting, but eventually you'll have to leave this place and confront the rest of your day. In the meantime, you think about the door to the clinic. Think about Oscar and Rosalina. Think about the afterlife. Think about Stella. Think about the two girls in the mine. Oh, I forgot they're still buried in there. Think about Sybil's warning. Think about Wayne. Whether you're ever truly alone. Think about someone special. Think about being out of this hellhole and safe in your own bed. Who can I think about someone special towards? Stella, Kanika, Oscar, Reese, Dr. Kelly, or Wayne. And the way he effortlessly crushed that ditchling. There we go. You're done here. Romance. He's like, yeah, man, he was so strong. You're done here. You turn off the faucet, dry yourself off. Head downstairs. It's time to face your cousin. You find her in the kitchen, her shoulders hunched in a tight ball of anxiety. They weren't bluffing after all. They're actually striking. And this week, of all weeks, as if I didn't have enough on my plate already. You've had a full day of preparing for this, though. I've had a full day of preparing for this, though. They won't know what's coming for them. Thanks again for having my back on this. I know how some of the city folk feel about unions, so the early warning was a pleasant surprise. That's an almost cool confidence in the way your cousin talks about the strike. You seem confident about the strike. What have you got planned? I've got a lot of things planned. I've already secured enough manpower to keep the mine's basic operations in order. From there, it's just a matter of squeezing the workers until they break. Most of them will be back to work by the end of the week, I promise. Do you know what the strikers even want? I haven't seen the list of demands, so I'm sure it's just the usual. I promise you that any one of them were in my shoes for a month, they'd be singing a different tune. Do I want to infiltrate? Do I want to be a... Oh, I hate that. This is the one I would do it with, though. Do you want me to infiltrate the strike? Even if they don't already know you're my cousin, it seems like a great way to throw gasoline on a fire. This is my problem to fix. Your only job is to stay safe until the funeral is over. So you're bringing in scabs? Yes, I'm bringing in scabs, if that's what you want to call them. And there's plenty of miners who are going to report to work today for business as usual. Look, you don't know how hard this is. I'm just trying to keep the place running, and every day it finds a new and hellish way to collapse around me. Any news about the trapped kids? We have confirmation of at least one voice down there, and the boys have been digging around the clock. I don't think it'll be long before we can put all this unpleasantness behind us. Do you regret leaving Charlie down there? Not at all, and I don't care if Grandma Eddie killed him. The past is the past, and neither of us had anything to do with it. We can always build a new town hall. We can never get back lost years. Nika can't get a hold of Stella. Do you think she's alright? I'm sure she's just processing what happened last night. We weren't the only ones who were traumatized. You probably should get going, right? Yeah. I've dawdled long enough. Stay safe, no more hijinks. But let me know if you get in trouble, okay? Tabitha slips past you, her heavy boots thudding down the hall as she marches away to face her employees. Time to figure out the rest of your day. Make yourself a peanut butter and jelly in advance, in anticipation for the long day ahead of you. And that's that. Time to head to town. You head to the front door and begin to trek to the town. Sun shines down through a layer of thin clouds, illuminating the path in a watery gray light. You can't help but feel countless eyes watching you from the tree line. Feeling that reminds you of your time in the woods on Monday. Ditchlings shouldn't be out in the middle of the day, though. They're getting bolder. As you continue the trek down to town, you pause to stare out at the mountain range beyond the holler, contemplating a world that's blissfully unaware of the dangers threatening the citizens of this tiny town. The world outside feels less real with each passing day, as if the strange reality of what's happening in Scarlet Hollow gently uproots what you'd always taken to be the truths of your world. Your everyday worries seem distantly overshadowed by a fear and dread that hasn't stopped building since the moment you stepped foot off that bus. It isn't long until your journey from the estate is over, and you once again find yourself on the main street of Scarlet Hollow. Hey, you made it. I still haven't heard from Stella, and I've already seen a bunch of those ditchling things scurrying around in broad daylight. I know my mom said they're harmless, but we should start looking for her. I'm supposed to see your mom at some point today. Maybe she'd finally shed some light on things. I'm not sure what she'd planned to tell us today, but she could probably have told us all that last night. Maybe she's going to read your fortune. I should probably stop making fun of her whole New Age mystic vibe. A lot's happened in the past couple of days. Still, there will be plenty of time for tea after we've looked for Stella. So how are you mentally? That's a great question. My concept of how the world works is being shattered a little more each day, so that's cool. Every day I feel more and more like I need to get out of this town before it swallows me whole, but I also keep feeling like there are too many reasons to stay. Like right now, I can't leave until I know Stella's okay. With her folks gone, the only people she has are her friends. And as her bestie, I can't just go out, let her go running off into the woods to get eaten by a Bigfoot. My mom is just so chill right now, it's driving me nuts. Anyways, that's how I'm doing. Probably about as poorly as everyone else who was at the library last night. Except for maybe Stella. Is the ghost still in the library? I have no idea, and I don't think anyone should even try to get a look. Especially not you. Who knows what might happen if that thing catches a whiff of scarlet blood. So, any leads on Stella? I haven't had a chance to talk to anyone else. So, nope, none so far. She ran north last night, but that doesn't mean she didn't double back. I'm trying not to worry too much. It's possible she's safe somewhere, just not answering her phone, but I also don't want to bet on that. I was kind of surprised you reached out to me after all the issues between you and Tabitha. I care more about finding Stella than I do about an ongoing feud between me and your cousin. And I'm not going out there alone, because the last thing I want is to go missing while looking for someone who went missing. We do everything in groups from now on. Someone manning the general store while we go look for Stella? Mom and Miles can deal for another day while we go look for Stella. This is important. Not that the store isn't, but if something happened to her and I wasn't spending my time minding the register, I don't think I could live with that. Guess we should get started. Yeah, we're burning daylight. Where to first? Let's check in with Oscar and Rosalina. They're at the old Maxwell place, right? Yeah, that's the place your oh-so-generous cousin decided was suitable for habitation. Sorry, I know she's your family and everything, but with Oscar and Rosalina have been through this week, I just couldn't believe that she even suggested something like that. You don't get far before the sound of growling and desperate hisses grab your attention. You turn to see a ditchling approaching a cornered pixel in the alley. He must have slipped out of the library with everyone else last night. The ditchling is distracted from its hunt by your arrival. It cranks its neck to face you, its eyes settling on you with alien indifference. Hunt it! You take a deep breath and focus on the creature's body before propelling yourself towards it. Your foot connects with the ditchling's hide, leaving an imprint in its body as it crashes into the wall. The dogs! It makes brief eye contact with you in the alley before both you and it turn to face a peculiar sight. A small pack of dogs pounces on the creature, pulling it from the wall, and then taking turns biting and tearing at it until it's ripped to shreds. Their task complete, they saunter towards you. What are Daisy and Scraps doing out here? Are they leading some sort of ditchling hunting dog gang? Pixel timidly steps towards you. Pixel, you got out of the library? Oh, you poor cat, come here. Pixel cautiously walks towards your group before clambering into your arms. He has a comfortable heft to him. I really wish I could talk to animals right now. I really wish I could talk to animals right now. Oh, I wish I could talk to animals right now. I see how it is. Everybody likes Bruce. Even the cats. Thanks, guys. The pack of dogs scamper off, their work done. What the hell is going on in this town? Pixel in tow, you and your companions continue on to the old Maxwell place. I love that I'm just carrying this cat now. Oh, this is phenomenal. I'm just carrying Pixel around. This is the best. Oh, okay. The old Maxwell place. It was clearly once a mid-century modern home, and undoubtedly quite stylish for the time. But it's been abandoned for unknown decade. And moss and vines choke its exterior, barely concealed cracked walls and dust-clouded glass. Before you can approach the door, Oscar's head pokes out from his entryway. Hello? Oh, sorry if I startled y'all. The walls here are worn down enough I can hear you coming from a block away. Good morning, Oscar. Thank goodness you found Pixel. Rosalina's been beside herself. Oscar's voice is tired. He had a long night, and it shows. His graying face seemingly having aged in the hours since you last saw him. Please, come on in. Pixel, he's okay. Rosalina rushes forward, taking Pixel from your arms and hugging him close in her chest. How are y'all holding up? I'm doing all right. Rosalina is. I'm fine. Things could be worse. She's all but glaring at you as she talks. She isn't fine. She's angry. It really isn't as run down as it looks, but it's got all kinds of weird little features, like an intercom and a jacuzzi. Of course, not all of them are really usable with the state of the place. We've turned on the water and the pipes still work at the very least. Though I won't be drinking out of them until I tested what comes out. My cousin said the miners have heard at least one voice down there. I know it's scary right now, but Alexis and Becca might be okay. Really? She said that? Do you hear that, Rosa? Maybe everything will work out after all. I'll believe it when I see it. And it doesn't change things anyways. You still left them behind. If they're okay, it's just because of dumb luck. We could always try going on a rescue mission for some of your stuff. No, absolutely not. No one is going back in there until we have a thoroughly researched plan of action. This goes especially for you, Bruce. Who knows if you'd be able to leave again? How about no one is going back in there, period? We should all agree to just leave the library alone, possibly forever. What's going to happen to the library now that your career is closed? Rosalina's eyes burn a hole in your head. That's a good question. What's going to happen to your career now that the library is closed? I read that backwards. That's a good question. I was up all night wondering the same thing. If things stay the way they are right now, it's essentially like the library burned down. The books are inaccessible, the building is unsalvageable. I don't even know what I could put on the insurance forms or how I would explain this to the library board. So for the time being, I'm not saying anything. I'm just going to do everything in my power to get it back from anyone, to get it back before anyone has to know it was ever closed. This house is actually pretty sweet. Thought it would be much worse. I apologize on behalf of my cousin for making you stay here. So what's the plan? Gotta be something we can do to make things right. I'll try to see if I can get Tabitha to set you up somewhere nicer. It was so cool of my cousin to let you stay in this rad place for free. He's kind of a jerk, so we're gonna do it. Oh, I hate this line. Did you say this place is a jacuzzi? Can I try it? I don't think you want to bathe in whatever has been stuck in the pipes for the past 30 years. No, I think you should try it. Maybe the lead poisoning or whatever will shave off enough years of your life for the ghost to be satisfied, and then we can go home. Rosalina, I didn't raise you to say things like that. If you can't be civil, you should go to another room while the adults talk. I'll still be able to hear you. The walls in this house are more hole than wall. I'm sorry, Rosalina. You don't have anything to be sorry about. You didn't leave Alexis to die, and you didn't make me and my dad have to live here. Those dumb Scarlets don't care about helping people. They just want to save their own skins. Can't even say anything because, like, she's not wrong about Bruce. Like, Bruce kind of sucks. Like, Rosalina's gonna kill you in her sleep. She might. She's gonna come get me. Rosalina's big mad at me. I mean, this house is actually pretty sweet. I thought it would be much worse. Yeah, it's so cool that we have to drink bottled water because this place is uninhabitable, and what comes out of the faucet could kill us. I love that there's a plant growing out of the wall in my room, and I can see right through it to the outside. Rosalina, I know you're upset, but taking it out on a near stranger is no way to deal with your emotions. And as far as I'm concerned, Bruce is the only reason we aren't still down in those mines. You aren't still down in those mines, so I'm personally quite grateful for what he's done for our family. Besides, it's not like we'll have to stay here for long. One way or another, we'll get our house back. There's no need for anyone to take on any permanent life-changing burdens on our behalf. I don't care what it takes. I'm not letting that creature get the last laugh. It's all bravado at this point. Not even Oscar believes what he is saying. Sure, that went so great the first time I've had it with the big talk. I'm going to my room. Let me know if you actually manage to accomplish anything, or if we'll have to move to some tent in the woods next. Rosalina storms off. As she leaves, Oscar's shoulders seem to unclench, attention leaving him as he sighs dejectedly. Let's go outside. Give her some space. Oscar, before we get sidetracked, we're not just here to talk about what happened in the library. Oh? Stella's been missing since last night. Oh. You haven't seen her, right? Not since last night. I know you've got a lot going on, but just let us know if you see her around. After everything she went through last night, I'm just worried about her. Before you go, though, there is something I wanted to get your thoughts on. As far as I'm aware, there was nothing paranormal going on in Scarlet Hollow before very recently. Now, here we are, suddenly surrounded by weird little goblin creatures in the woods, while entire buildings are taken over by supernatural creatures. You think there was an enticing incident, right? I do. That's my thought, too. It was never like this in the Holler before. Something must have happened that kicked off all this magic stuff. Whatever the cause of it is, there must be some way to put this genie back in the bottle. I'm going to do my best to find out if there have been any similar events, and whether there's anything special about Scarlet Hollow that might explain what's going on. The town archives are, unfortunately, in the library. Rosalina has been pestering me to make some sort of digital backup for months, but I never got around to it, so online sources it is. We'll fill you in on what little we know, so you at least have some place to start. We've been finding these weird little stone seals. There was one in the mines and another in the basement. There might be more. Seals. That is incredibly occulty. To think there was something like that under my house all this time, and to think someone must have put it there. But who? Oh yeah, no, it's definitely our fault. We're the enticing incident. This gives me quite a few threads to follow. Thank you, Bruce. Make sure Pixel stays inside or she might get grabbed by ditchlings. The ditchlings are those things from the woods, right? With those faces. They snatch animals, do some kind of parasitic egg-laying thing. So unless you want one of those things to pop out of Pixel, you'd better keep him inside. I think some dogs kept him safe. Like a gang of dogs? I know it sounds ridiculous, but we saw it with our own eyes. A gang of dogs. Suppose stranger things have happened. This very week, in fact. But we'll make sure he stays inside. I wonder if this could be the work of some sort of a cult. I don't know. I'm just throwing things out there. Let's not get all satanic panic just yet. I know it's not looking unlikely at this point, but having lived in this town all my life, I feel like I would know if there was some kind of cult that ran the place. Cult doesn't necessarily have to run the town to have an impact here. It doesn't even need to be active. From what I gather, those carvings you've been talking about are old, and whoever left them here is probably long gone. I'll see what I can find. You never know. I think there's something in the clinic. There was the store yesterday, and I could feel something pulling me towards it. You didn't mention anything like that yesterday. I see. I'll dig up what I can online on the clinic. There's a lot of history there. I wouldn't be surprised if there's something haunting that place as well. Oh God, did you just think about why Reese is... You don't think that's why Reese is sick, do you? He's been sick for years, hasn't he? If there's something supernatural causing his illness, it puts a bit of a wrench in our recent theory. It does, but maybe there's more to it than that. Maybe things being clustered so tightly together is just a coincidence. Maybe Scarlet Hollow has been weird for a long time and we're all just starting to notice. It took me back-to-back encounters with the paranormal on consecutive nights to even consider that we might be dealing with something supernatural. Reese mentioned a movie night, right? It's the perfect cover for an investigation. Who knows if that would fly with Dr. Kelly, though. After last night, I'm pretty sure she's not going to let us anywhere near her house. If we're going to investigate the clinic, I think we're going to have to break it. No, absolutely not. That's what Stella would do. She's been 3 for 3 this week when it comes to finding spooky stuff. She's also been 3 for 3 when it comes to finding her way into mortal peril. This is why we have to find her soon as possible. It shouldn't fall on me to suggest we do something dangerous. I'm terrible at selling it. It's not that I think we should figure out what's going on in there. We just need to be cautious about what we do next. Movie night! Movie I think the movie got immediately rejected. We don't want anyone to get attacked or possessed by any more ghosts, even if it is to help a friend. I don't know if we have time to play it safe. Just give me a day or two to do some research before you do anything rash, okay? We're burning daylight. Let's head out. Let's do it. We don't have a day or two. We're only here for a week. Let us know what you find. I will. We're going to get the library back. We're going to figure out how to fix whatever's wrong with this town. You pause before Oscar leaves, your eyes lingering for a moment. If there's anything else you'd like to say, Oscar, you should say it now before you leave. Sorry, my romances wane. Bruce Wayne! Okay. You're still weighing your options. So that's Oscar. Any other ideas? We should go to the church. The church? What, do you think Stella decided to get all religious all of a sudden? I want to tell him that ghosts are real. I want to rub it in his face. I want to tell Pastor Kelly that ghosts are real. I want to rub it in his face. If you think that's a good use of your time, go for it. At the very least, I suppose it couldn't hurt to check out the area, just in case anyone up there has seen Stella. Let's not linger. I don't want Pastor Daniel thinking we're possibly converts. Kanika leads the way, taking you up the gradual slope towards the church. All right, where is that weirdo? My, 3 visitors at once on a Thursday. This is unprecedented. But there are only 2 of us. Oh no, were we followed by a ditchling? Were we followed by Wayne? Sup, old people? Oh, it's just Zane. What are you doing here? All the glimpses of death have had in the past 2 days have forced me into the mists of an existential crisis, my dudes. I wanted to see if faith held any answers for me. Alas, I have not yet found the solace I seek. Give it time, Zane. It sometimes takes a while for the Lord to work his way into your heart. But when he does, you won't regret letting him in. Be sure to look over those pamphlets I gave you, and of course, I'm always here if you need to talk. Sure thing, Pastor D. Peace, y'all. Zane! Anyways, we're looking for Stella. She wandered off last night, and no one has seen her since. I'm starting to get pretty worried. We hoped maybe you or Janie have seen her. I can't speak for Janie, but I'm afraid I've seen neither hide nor hair of Stella. If you'd like to talk to my wife, she's just over by the alpacas. Though, Bruce, I was hoping we could have a talk in private. Sure. What's up? I guess I'll leave you to it while I check in with Janie. Nika heads off towards Janie and the alpacas, leaving you alone with the nervous pastor. I'm so glad you decided to come up to visit me. So many young people these days seem to think they can solve all their problems on their own. Meanwhile, God is right there, ready to help them. If only they'd let him into their hearts. Pastor's eyes dart back towards the alpacas. Okay, good. She's gone. You're new in town. What kind of impression did I make on you? Am I creepy? You care too much about what other people think of you. If you want people to like you, you have to not care about whether they like you. That's a harsh truth you're slinging at me. It wasn't always like this, you know. Believe it or not, before I moved to Scarlet Hollow, I used to be pretty popular. I was one of the cool kids over at Harvard Divinity School. He's interrupted by the sound of a snapping twig and a high-pitched giggle, partly muffled by the underbrush on the edge of the property. Tulip, come out of there. You know you're not supposed to play in the woods. Tulip glances back into the woods, quiet as she hesitates. Tulip, are you going to be good? Or are we going to skip story time tonight? I'll be good. You don't have to skip story time. I won't go into the woods, I promise. I know you won't, Tulip, because you know it's too dangerous for little girls in there. Why don't you go help Mama with the alpacas? It's just about time they got fed. They can give you them hay. You could give them hay. Tulip smiles broadly, seemingly excited by the prospect, and hurries off. Yeah, I like this Zane calls him Pastor D. Sorry, I had to have a firm parenting moment just then. She's been trying to run off into those woods a lot lately, and it's dangerous, even for adults. There's this massive trash dump not too far past the trees, but it must be at least 50 years old, so it's all grown over and looks like part of the landscape. But if you accidentally walk on it, you might find yourself falling into a hip-deep mound of rusty cans and broken glass. Tulip made up some imaginary friends and keeps telling me that they want her to go out there. Like the word of some fictional creatures she made up is going to convince us it's a good idea for her to play in somebody's old garbage. But she's 7, of course she would get some funny little ideas like that. I'd love to get the community to rally around a big cleanup. It's about time somebody got rid of all that junk. The trash heap, that must be what... I don't think she talked about it in this version of the game, but whenever we ask Stella the most dangerous thing she's ever done, she talks about the trash heap where you could like fall through it. That must be the same heap. You probably get a special dialogue option if you talk to her about it and then come this way and talk to him about it. How big a trash dump are we talking? Would a weekend of hard work clear it out? Maybe if you had a construction equipment and a team of professionals. It's a big area, and I have no idea how deep it goes. In the meantime, I'm just making sure Tube knows not to go near it. Oh, let the kid have some fun. That trash heap sounds awesome. That does sound like Bruce. Always the worst dialogue option. Oh, let the kid have some fun. That trash heap sounds awesome. It's disgusting. And probably full of all kinds of diseases, and possibly even infested with rats. Maybe something even worse. Out of the corner of your eye, you see Kaneko walking back to the two of you. She must have finished talking to Janie. Janie says she hasn't seen Stella either, so we'd better get going. Oh, hope your talk with the pastor went well. Yes, we had a great conversation. I appreciate you all stopping by, even if it wasn't under the best circumstances. I'll let y'all be on your way. And I hope Stella turns up soon. I'll put in some good prayer with the big man for her. All right, thanks. See ya. Kanika starts back down the path to town and you follow. Okay, now that we've put some distance between us and the church, what did he want to talk to you about? He didn't say anything weird, did he? Tulip apparently made some weird imaginary friends. We might want to check it out later this week. Kids make up imaginary friends all the time. Let's not get too distracted until we find Stella, though. Where to next? I don't know which one to go to first. Mines? Okay. We should go to the mines. I guess there's a decent chance Stella went to find her cousin, since they're friends. Come on, I'll drive. You follow Kanika to her van. It isn't long before you find yourselves inside the Scarlet Mines. There's a small gathering of workers outside the entrance to the mines. Get signs in hand. Better house now. Or none at all. I am unhappy with the treatment I am receiving as a worker in the Scarlet Mines. There's a small gathering of workers outside the entrance to the mines, picket signs in hand. Is this a strike? They're striking? Good for them, but I kind of thought there'd be more of them, you know? I hope it's not weird to talk to them while they're in the middle of all that. Well, if it isn't the boss's cousin. Any word about those kids stuck in the mine? We've heard voices, so we know they're alive. Now we just have to get them out. We've got a team working in shifts to dig them out. We may be striking, but that doesn't mean we're not making the boss any money. But that just means we're not making the boss any money. Not that we won't do everything we can for kids who need us. Can we visit the dig site? No way! There's a ton of dangerous equipment there, and the men working to rescue those kids don't need any more distractions. It's bad enough having parents breathing down on necks. They're making the job that much harder. They have every right to be at that dig site. Oh, but that one woman. Becca's mom. Yeah, they're being hassled enough as is. How goes the strike? The boss managed to be a step ahead of us. Deployed some scare tactics that lost us a good chunk of support. I don't know who it is, but someone ratted. It's the only way she could have pulled this off. Oh no. There'll be a hell to pay once we sniff him out. Can't believe she managed to scare folks back down into the mines, even with the collapse. I can't go back down there. They're knowing. I can't go back down there knowing the rock over my head could come down any second. I value my life more than a paycheck. If only the boss had the same values. She just has to make her bottom line. I know there are not a lot of us out here, but there's more of us at that diner. And there's more of us setting up mutual aid. But once people see our follow-through, they're going to join us. This is only the beginning. Let me know if there's anything the general store can do to help. Anything you can think of, we'll take it. We need all the support we can get right now. What are your grievances? Okay, we'd like competitive pay, 8-hour shifts instead of 12 or more, improvements to the sick day and vacation policies, and a thorough safety inspection before any of us step foot underground again. That collapse was way too close to the active mine for me to feel safe down there, until I know for sure I won't wind up buried under 2 tons of rock. We don't want to, we want to change things. There's no reason we should be treated like we're a disposable workforce. If they're the only ones, if we're the ones making her money, we should be the ones making money too, not just scraping by. Jesus, Tabitha. Isn't this a bit of an escalation? Did you try talking to Tabitha first? What do you know about what we've already tried? You ain't from around here. And you sure as hell don't know what it's like working down in those mines. We knew talking would get us nowhere. The most it would do is get people fired. It's happened before. This is the best way for us to send our message. By not making her any more money until she has to listen. Bruce, you of all people should know how talking to Tabitha goes. She's a brick wall. An angry brick wall. I need to talk to Tabitha. So you're saying you want to cross a picket line? So I can either fight these guys or I can just do it. She's my cousin. Like, I can talk to her anyways. Yeah, what are you going to do about it? Oh God, Bruce, what are you doing? Davis looks you up and down and then shrugs. Nothing. It's a free country. I am not crossing a picket line, and besides, I don't think Tabitha would be too happy to see me. I'll just wait by the van while you go talk to her. See you on the other side. The industrial noises of the Scarlet Mine are only a little quieter than they were 2 days ago. The trailer that serves as Tabitha's office looms above you on the hill. Now that you're inside, you're free to examine the dig site. We'll go back to talk to her after. The dig site is busy. Massive drills bore into the earth as parents and residents tensely wait for any signs of progress. You're some relative of Tabitha, of Tabitha Scarlet's, aren't you? Tell her to come out here now. Alexis's family and I have been out here since yesterday morning. My child is down there, and Miss Scarlet has barely made an appearance since she stood round doing nothing for an hour yesterday. Guess she's too busy hiding from her own workforce to come out here and let us parents know when our children might be rescued. It looks like some folks are working pretty hard to take them out. I don't know how helpful it would be to actually have to let them out here. Get off my back. We tried to drag those kids out of the mine the other night, and they decided it was a good idea to run off. Get off my cousin's back. She's doing everything she can to get out of this town. Get off of my cousin's back. We tried to drag those kids out of the mine the other night, and they decided it was a good idea to run off. Don't you try and turn this around on the children. If my Becky put herself in danger, it's probably because all the adults down there gave her a reason to. I'm telling you, I'm telling you, Nancy, the fellows on the rig are giving us the updates as they come in. There's nothing Miss Scarlet could tell us that they already don't know. I know you want to give her what's for, but that's not going to change what's going on up here. Even my own husband is too scared of this woman to stand up for our family. Oh, your kid is the one who broke into an abandoned mine, or it's Becca's fault that she's stuck down there right now, you know. Say it, say it, say it. It's Becca's fault that she's stuck down there right now, you know. What kind of a heartless person says that about a 15-year-old girl trapped in a mine? Actually, Becca's dad, wasn't it you who told her it was safe to go down there in the first place? I'll have you know I said no such thing. Oh my God, it's true, isn't it? You said it was safe, didn't you? I'd been on a few I'd been in a few times as a kid. It always seemed sturdy. I just figured that if it had stood that long, that what were the chances there would be another collapse? I know I shouldn't have, but I can't change the past. What matters is she's still alive and we're getting her out of there. I can't believe you. I need to have some words with my husband. You and just find your cousin and tell her I expect to see her immediately. Becca's mom turns and leaves. You leave the dig site and make your way back to Tabitha's office. You make your way back to the Tabitha's office. We'll just enter. You walk up to Tabitha's trailer and open the door. Think I could turn at least a few of the other guys if you fire Davis. Oh my God, have you heard of knocking? What are you even doing up here? Should I go? Yeah, and make sure no one sees you. No one else, at least. Don't worry, I'm on your side. That doesn't mean you're allowed to barge in on private meetings. I'll leave you both to it. The door clicks closed as Rodriguez leaves Tabitha's office. Tabitha heaves a heavy sigh. These just Forget anything you heard, okay? Oh gosh. I hate being on her side for the strike. It kind of sucks. This is what I want to say, which means that's what I can't say. Because Bruce does things I wouldn't do. Good idea firing Davis. He seems to be the leader. It'll probably sink morale. That's the plan. I don't like firing people, especially a good employee like Davis, but if it's what has to be done, it has to be done. I'm not going to undermine you. We're good, Tabby. Thanks. I know I haven't given you many reasons to be kind to me, so I really appreciate you choosing to be that way. Even if I'm not very easy to get along with. That's fair. It is really messed up that they're striking during her mom's funeral, but I also feel like a mine just collapsed. And so I understand them being afraid, and I don't feel like their demands are unreasonable. They get 3 sick days a year, no holiday, no vacation, 12-hour days. Like, I don't think asking for an 8-hour work week, vacation days, sick days, and a mine inspection is that unreasonable. I would agree the timing is bad. I would agree the timing is the problem, not necessarily the demands, but it's also just like the demands aren't bad. Like, but that's why I said like what I would want to say is their demands aren't bad, but I make Bruce do things I wouldn't do. So, but I agree. I don't like a strike during a funeral week. That is rough. Look, you didn't come here to talk about my meeting. Why are you here? Don't get me wrong, it's nice to see a friendly face, but you shouldn't be up here. This is my fight, my battle to fight. Do you think they'll be able to get those kids out alive? Don't ask me things like that. I have no way of knowing. They aren't far from the surface, so the drill should reach them soon. But no one knows what the conditions are like down there, or if they're hurt, or even if one of them's dead. I'm just doing the best I can and hoping it works out. Becca's mom is expecting you to make an appearance. I know she's going through a lot right now, but she's a real bitch. Right? That woman put Pearl Ann to shame. Thanks for saying that. This hasn't exactly been an easy situation to deal with. Stella's still missing. We've been looking for all over town and don't have any leads. The grounds. You don't think Wayne? Wayne's my friend. He wouldn't hurt the people I care about. Jesus, how did he manage to convince you of that? Don't be so gullible. Besides, it's not just you he would be hurting. I'll see if I can figure something out. That's all I wanted to talk to you about. Tabitha's phone buzzes. I'd better get back to work. Stay safe out there, Bruce. Call me if you're in any more trouble, but please don't go looking for any after today, okay? I don't need you going missing too. You leave the office, closing the door behind you. You find Kaneko waiting for you outside. You don't look like you've found any new leads. You look back at the striking miners. Nope, we're helping her. You don't need to go around spilling Tabitha's secrets. It feels like we've done our due diligence here. Come on. I'll drive us back to town and we can figure out our next move from there. Where to next? Let's check out the diner. Good idea. Folks tend to congregate there. Maybe we'll run into someone who's seen Stella. You feel like you've walked into a private meeting. The back booth is full of miners, and they're having what seems like an intense discussion, their expressions gravely serious. Hey, Avery, are we interrupting something? Of course not. Everyone's welcome here. Just be careful not to step on any toes. Things have gotten a little tense over the last couple of days. The miners in the back were too engaged in conversation to notice you enter, and instead of speaking in hushed tones, they argue with each other loudly enough for you to easily overhear. There's no way I can risk something like this. Y'all know my sister's tuition depends on this paycheck, and I can't afford a place outside of the company's housing. It's too risky. We should just cut it out now before she starts firing people. I hate to say it, Zax, but Harrison might have a point. Everybody shut it! Smith just let me know the boss's cousin over there was snooping about in the mines this morning. Let's not give the boss any more ammunition. The conversation cuts out. An uncomfortable silence falls over the diner as the miners watch you with suspicion. So about the strike. Somebody snitched to Tabitha. She caught us completely unprepared. For all we know, you overheard something and ratted us out. And with how you've been acting lately, I don't know how you did it, but something tells me you're a part of the boss's machine. Kaneka's eyes dart to the floor. Look, I support you guys, but maybe you could save this until next week. Tabitha's mom just died. This whole strike thing is hardly fair. If the mines fail, none of you are even going to have jobs left to strike over. So what, everyone in town should let Tabitha blackmail them? The mines can be doing so poorly that a union is going to be completely... The mines can't be doing so poorly that a union is going to completely shutter them. Exactly. We all need to finally get together and give that family a taste of their medicine. And this ain't just about the collapse. The Scarlets have been abusing this town for years. Don't pressure people, Zach. If they don't want to strike, they don't have to. Bruce, what the hell? Oh, great. The boss even has her cousin going around strike breaking. Just get out. You're not welcome here. All of you calm down. If a fight breaks out in my establishment, you're all out. I don't care who is in the right. You heard the lady, Muscles. Just leave us alone. I just want the record to show that just because I'm currently standing next to Tabitha's cousin does not mean I'm friends with Tabitha's cousin. I barely know this person. Oh, you wanted me to say the horse race comment? No, like I said, I'm trying to pick things I wouldn't say, and I would not be a strike buster. So I'm trying to make him be a strike buster. One, because I'm trying to get achievements. And two, because it's completely outside of my personality, which is what I'm trying to do with Bruce. Bruce is completely outside of what I would ever do. So, but I hate it. LOL, Stella comment. Haven't you seen Stella? She's missing. Yep. Hey, have any of you seen Stella? She's missing. The YouTuber? We ain't seen her. Harrison's voice drops to a barely audible mumble. I hope she's okay. She hasn't been around, but I'll let you know if I hear anything. I guess we should get going. Kanika don't like me, and that's fine. I don't have to like Kanika. Me and her don't have to get along. You turn and leave the diner, Kanika trailing close behind you. Still no sign of Stella. Okay, let's go to Stella's house. Yeah, we've been running around town all riled up, and meanwhile she's probably just sleeping in or something. I should have checked before we met up, but I was honestly kind of nervous I might run into some other horror from beyond the veil if I went exploring on my own. Oh, to Sybil? I guess I didn't have to go to her house. I'm sorry. I was just trying to do all of the things. Go to the house, go to the police, go to Sybil. Make your way towards Stella's house. Kanika knocks anxiously on the door. It creaks open. Your protective instincts set in, and the muscles in your arms tighten, your shoulders straighten. If danger lurks ahead, you're ready for it. This doesn't look like a break-in. It looks like somebody left the door open. Stella and someone else was in a hurry when they left. I'm not from around here. Is it normal for people to leave their doors open like that? Unlocked? Yes. Hanging open? No way. This isn't normal. We should go in, right? Screw going in there. Let's just get the cops. You've met Scarlet Hollow's finest, and you still want to leave this up to them? As unsettling as a door situation is, we can talk to the cops after we've seen what's inside. I try not to involve Scarlet Hollow's finest unless it's absolutely necessary. I wouldn't trust them to detect their way out of a paper bag. Kanika steps forward, crossing the threshold into Stella's house. Whatever happened to Stella, it doesn't look like it happened here. Okay, nothing unusual so far. This is a perfectly normal living room, no blood or viscera, not even tipped over lamp. That's good. Stella's kitchen is slightly messy. A couple cabinets are hanging open. A loaf of bread sits on the counter by a used butter knife. Looks normal to me. Stella's house has always felt a little too sterile to me. Feels a little too lived in, if that makes sense. No, maybe that's just because I've only ever been over when she was already expecting me. You make your way down the hall to what you assume to be Stella's bedroom. She's not here. Though it's a little untidy, it's the usual sort of untidiness that accumulates when someone doesn't often have guests in their bedroom. There aren't any signs of violence. I don't think there's any clues here. I don't think so either. This is what her room's been like for pretty much the entire time I've known her. The only thing that's changed is the computer getting a lot fancier. Aw, she still does those corkboard with string things. She loves putting the strings on there. I don't think they actually mean anything, but they're more for decoration anyway. Okay, so she's not here. Okay, we still have no idea where she is. I thought I was overreacting this morning. I thought she would have just been sleeping in or something. I can't believe she's actually missing. We're going to the cops. I know they probably won't actually do anything, but we should see if we can get them to start looking for her before we go anywhere else. Yeah, let's go. We should make sure the police know Stella's missing. The police station is exactly what you would expect from a town the size of Scarlet Hollow. It smells strongly of coffee and faintly of aged furniture and paper, and the general tidiness speaks of a department that doesn't get much of anything done. But you're also not here alone. You enter to find Bo and Duke standing between you and the officers behind the desk. Now listen here, Hugsby. Big Betty was set to win a blue ribbon, so don't you go telling me she was just a pumpkin. We worked real hard to get her that big. Raised her up from a seed. It's just not fair, officer, sir. I understand that and all, but I just don't see what y'all want us to do about it. I know y'all cared a lot about this pumpkin, but as it stands, it simply isn't a job the police can help you with. Now, if you were able to find some kind of evidence that Julius or somebody else stole this Big Betty of yours, then we could get a lawyer involved and take it to small claims court. Dang it, deputy! Ain't finding evidence what y'all are supposed to be good for? That Julius has been stealing what rightfully belongs to the Calloways for all his life, and you folks ain't done a lick of policing to do any end to it. I told you we was better off handling this ourselves, Daddy. Weird questions. Y'all part of like a cult? Is that why y'all aren't doing your jobs? Police officers stare at you perplexed. A cult? I don't think we have that sort of thing up here. We are doing our jobs. Just looking at Franklin back there. He's filling all kinds of paperwork pertaining to what happened up at the mines. You know, I can't say I appreciate your tone. Sounds like you're accusing us of some kind of indecency. What, do you think we go up in the hills and do seances, rituals, and all that sort of thing just to get your head out of the clouds? Can you folks arrest a ghost? It's some kind of thought experiment. If it ain't in a mask, if it's a guy in a mask, yep, I think we can take care of it as long as he breaks the law. But if we're talking a manifestation of a deceased person, I'm not sure if there is much in our jurisdiction. Might be more Pastor Daniel's wheelhouse. Now, why did you bring this up anyways? It's just a hypothetical question. Can we please stick to the matter at hand? I don't got all day to stand here and listen to every deranged question Bruce thinks up. Listen up, boys. We got a missing person on our hands. Stella hasn't been seen since yesterday. And last anyone saw, she was in a state of distress. Oh, so you think you're leading an investigation, do you? Coming in here like you have some kind of authority. Well, then why don't you march on out and dig up some clues, and if you think you're in such a big shot... Cross your arms, your muscles bulging imposingly. You stare Officer Durkison directly in the eye, unblinking and serious. Of course, it's nice to see a citizen such as yourself taking initiative of a possible investigation. Help from citizens such as yourselves is never frowned upon, and we'll be sure to take notes of her being gone. She'll turn up. That girl disappearing for a day or two ain't nothing out of the ordinary. Best to leave the officers to handle real crimes. Like our disappearing pumpkin. Alright, she'll turn up, she always does. What's all this about a pumpkin? Seems the Carraways here have lost a considerably large pumpkin. We ain't lost crud, Earl. You can't lose what's been stolen. But we already know who did it. We saw Julius eyeing her yesterday. Look, Bo, I feel you. I really do. But that's circumstantial at best. And even if it wasn't, you know yourself that there isn't a clear property line. Did you just say crud? What makes you think Julius stole it? You're poking a wasp's nest, Bruce. There's 100 years of history here. He's been claiming Big Betty was his since day one, on account of he thinks it was planted on his side of the property. He got himself confused about where the property line is, as always. Calloways and Tremedians have been at this a long time. They can never agree on whose land is whose. This ain't the first time we've heard something like this. We got our fair share of calls from Julius, too. I'm sorry, did you just say crud? Dang straight I did. I ain't about to cuss in front of the boy. Cussing in public ain't polite. You got a problem with that? It doesn't take a genius to know the Duke's in the right here. Did Julius grow that pumpkin? Obviously not. Or he wouldn't have had to been so sneaky about carting it off. Do your jobs. Darn straight. Don't encourage him. If the Trelameans and Calloways had their way, we'd have personally ransacked each of their farms. One of these days, y'all are gonna have to pick a darn side. Don't my tax dollars pay your salaries? Last I checked, Julius pays taxes too. Let's just get going. Well, no one can say we didn't try. Let's keep looking. Well, that was a total waste of time. I hope Duke and Bo find their pumpkin. Where to next? As you consider your next steps, you remember your appointment with Sybil. She seems to be confident last night that Stella would be okay. Maybe she'll be able to help you find her. Aside from your cousin, she's the closest thing this town has to a real authority figure. She's the only person that believed you and Stella from the beginning. She could prove to be a valuable asset. We should talk to your mom. I'm supposed to have tea with her today. Sure, we can humor her. She's probably going to give you some rock or bundle of herbs for protection or something, which might actually work. Who knows? Guess there's only one way to find out. The bells of the general store chime welcomingly as the two of you enter. Nika, there you are. You were supposed to stay in bed today, remember? And hello, Bruce. Hope you're sufficiently recovered from last night's fiasco. Sorry, Mom. It's just that Stella's missing, and Stella can take care of herself, unlike you. You need bed rest and lots of fluids. You don't need to go running around town spreading that cold of yours. Now go on, get up to bed. I'll be up in a minute with more tea. I thought you had some kind of important thing to talk to Bruce about. I'm really feeling okay. I want to hear what you have to say to him. I'll just be doing a tea reading. Haven't those always bored you to tears? Okay, you're right. Not feeling well, I should just lie down. Bye, Bruce. Nika returns and heads up towards the stairs without saying another word. Good thing Nika has her mom looking out for her. She seems so tired today. You'll probably be able to find Stella without her. Shall we? Sybil motions towards the tea room. Follow Sybil to the tea room. Hit it, Mama Bear, Sybil. Please, have a seat. I'll bring you a fresh cup. You take a seat at the table. The edge of the room. You take a seat at the small table at the edge of the room. It's dark here. Only a sliver of sunlight able to filter through the heavy curtains, supplemented by the bright glowing lights over the plant in the corner. Sybil joins you at the table and places a cup in front of you. It smells light and citrusy, with an undercurrent of decaying. It's the same tea she brought you on Tuesday. I'll be able to do a reading once you're done. Until then, how about we just chat? The other day you promised to tell me, what was it? Unsavory tales of my mom's youth. I most certainly did. Though I might have been exaggerating a bit for dramatic effect. I'm prone to do that. In a town this size, you get to know everybody, no matter what the age difference might be. Vivian was a little younger than me, which meant I always had a certain older sister instinct about her. Her family wasn't good to her. Pearl Ann was a lot like your great-grandmother Edwardine, which is to say, she was not a very kind woman. Similar to Tabitha, but with more social grace and considerable more hatred for her fellow man. But your mother wasn't a shrieking violet either. She was just as stubborn as any other Scarlet, so her family choosing her as her punishment as their punching bag made her into quite the rebel. Why were Pearl Ann and my mom raised by Edwardine? What happened to their mother? Their entry into this world was violent, I'm afraid. Their mother was young, too young to be pregnant, especially with twins. She didn't survive the labor. What happened when my mom found out she was pregnant? She came to me for advice. She was distraught. It was like she'd been handed a death sentence. Maybe it was fear from what had happened to her own mother. Maybe it was something else. But she seemed convinced she was in danger. Tabitha had already been born by then, of course, but she was born in wedlock, so I assumed your mother's worries had something to do with religion. though the Scarlets weren't particularly religious as far as I knew. But the way Vivian was that night when she came to me, it stuck in my mind. She always had me wondering about us, wondering about it was. She always had me wondering what it was about your family that made her panic so much at the thought of having a baby. What do you know about my grandma? I'm afraid there isn't much I can tell you. I think there were two in that generation. The eldest died when the girls were still children. Edwardine never spoke about them, nor did your mother. I feel like I know a lot about the women in my family, but what about the men? Did they even exist? I suppose. They just haven't been very noteworthy since Edwardine took over the mines. Her husband died a long time ago, and to be quite honest, I can't even recall his name. Might have been Stuart or something just as forgettable. From what Vivian said, her father was some teenage fling that ended once your grandmother found out she was pregnant. I'm fairly certain it was similar for Vivian, though she was much older, and I believe she was the one who ended it. What with skipping town and all. You take a sip. You take the tea, sipping it delicately. The citrus smell is fleeting, quickly replaced with the earthliness at its core, like you've taken a mouthful of dirt. But the aftertaste combines with the two flavors into something soothing and medicinal. You find yourself feeling more comfortable, your muscles relaxing for the first time in days. What's with all the mystery and ritual? If you have something to tell me, just come out and say it. I'll need your tea leaves first. I have pieces of the puzzle, but the leaves should help me to put the picture together. Maybe that's an interesting guess. You close your eyes and take another sip, and then another. It's delightful. The tea is gone before you know it. The small cup empty, save for what's left of dehydrated leaves coating the bottom. Oh, goodness. Glad you found the tea palatable enough to drink. It should do you some good. It's one of my more medicinal blends. Now on to business. Sybil takes the cup from you, staring thoughtfully down at the sludge. Oh dear, this doesn't bode well. You've got just about every warning that can fit in the bottom of the cup. Cross, kettle, hourglass. All of these mean death, misery, difficulty. And the hourglass ties it all together with definitive urgency. It's fair to assume that this has to do with whatever brought the ditchlings. Something is coming, and whether any of us can stop it, I'm not sure. But we may at the very least be able to figure out what it is. And there's a central figure here, Cat, an enemy lurking in plain sight. The cat could be Tabitha, the cat could be Wayne, the cat could be Stella, the cat could be Kanika, the cat could be Oscar, Reese, Dr. Kelly, Pastor Daniel. How do I know you're not the cat? Let's do Pastor Daniel. No, we like Pastor Daniel in this one. Maybe Dr. Kelly? Sybil? We're gonna call her out to her face. Is that very Bruce? I guess, maybe? Sure. It's ridiculous. Sybil is helping you. And if she was the cat, why would she warn you about herself? Pick someone else. I wasn't allowed to. So we like Pastor Daniel in this one. We could do Kelly. We could do Reese. We could do Tabitha, but we're okay with Tabitha. We're romancing Wayne. Stella? Or Kanika? That could be Stella. She disappeared after last night. We haven't been able to find a hint as to where she might be. What if she's plotting something? She doesn't have any respect for the other people's boundaries. Who's to say that she wouldn't betray her friends to satisfy some ulterior motive? She seems too trustworthy, if you ask me. If this were a movie, she'd be the best candidate for a surprise betrayal. The way she's been actively courting danger the past few days, it wouldn't surprise me if she had an ulterior motive. I feel like she keeps disappearing as soon as things start going south. She left Tabitha in the mines after the carving gave us vision, and she disappeared as soon as the ghost hunt was over. It's always the hot ones. So you've been having visions. How interesting. It's a good thing I prepared this blend. My grandmother used to swear by it as the best way to make sense of sights granted by the beyond. Stella's never had the best coping mechanisms, especially not after she lost her parents. What you see as malice could be her struggling with inner demons. She's just a hurt soul who's been dealt a difficult hand. But you should try your own judgment here. But you should trust your own judgment here. Friend or family, the cat will make itself known soon enough. You don't have to figure out an answer right away. It often takes time for the mind to connect the dots. Just be on guard and keep vigilant that someone close to you isn't to be trusted. We know from the ditchlings that something terrible is coming your way, and it's likely that it's connecting to some hidden enemy. Perhaps we can try to counteract whatever might be planned for you. I'm interested in that carving you mentioned just now. A mine is a terribly odd place for an artifact like that, and if it gave you a vision, it could be linked to what's happening here. Perhaps there are others. Till the cat reveals itself, seems like your best course of action is to seek those carvings out. Piece together what you can find from your visions and arm yourself with information. Have you sensed any others around town? Do you think you might be able to find another? Your thoughts drift to that door yesterday, the one that seemed to draw you in, urging you deeper into the clinic. Even just remembering it is enough to tug at you, compelling you to return and open it to see what's on the other side. You could find Stella later. Maybe you can find her there. What's important now is finally seeing what's hidden in the clinic. You didn't get all this from tea leaves. Of course she didn't. She's smart. She knows how to deduce things from the leaves. Of course not. Tea leaves are merely a guide. Sometimes they can help confirm suspicions or fill in where my intuition falls short. My family has lived in these hills for a long time, as has yours. I know the Scarlets have secrets. I know Vivian was scared for you, but your place in all this is something we have to figure out together. And that's where little tricks like leaves come in handy. But we shouldn't digress. Do you know where you might find the next stone? Oh, I can choose not to. I shouldn't seek out more of them. Those stones need to be left undisturbed. You've seen how many ditchlings have been gathered round here. If what you've seen so far was not the main event, imagine how bad that's going to be. Anything that happens around these stones may be worth it, if it means you're able to get ahead of your adversary and whatever threatens this town. I think that's all the help I can offer. I hope this conversation has been illuminating, even if it just brought up more questions, but than given any clear answers. You helped last night. Why don't you come with me? I may have been able to see through the spirit's illusion, but I'm not some kind of all-powerful entity. I'm an old woman. I have trouble with my knees, and my eyesight isn't what it used to be. In most situations, I'm more of a liability than a helpful companion. Imagine if I had been in those mines with you. Some use I'd be, struggling to climb over rocks and ladders, throwing my back out from all the crouching. All you did was look at some leaves and tell me to put myself in danger. I suppose you could see it that way, but I hope I've done more than that, even if you don't realize it yet. Thank you again for humoring an old lady and stopping by for a chat. With a small grunt of effort, Sybil gets up from the table, and you're escorted back to the door. And remember, be careful who you put your trust in. According to your tea, the cat is getting ready to pounce, and merely getting ready for it may not be enough. Sybil closes the door to the tea room. Bells of its door strangely flat in the stale air of the nearly empty general store. We're just gonna bounce. It's time you got to the bottom of what's behind that door. You make your way up the familiar hill, past the rows of ragged houses that make up Scarlet Hollow's residential area. Isn't it long before you find yourself outside of Dr. Kelly's clinic, with secrets enticing you to find a way in. Even at the bottom of the hill, you can already feel the presence. It's like a magnet has been fixed on your rib cage, gently tugging you forward, guiding you towards whatever emits this compulsive frequency. It wouldn't be hard to jump onto the terrace from a hill next to the house. Just go in through the clinic door, make your way up the hill and onto the terrace, knock on Reese's basement window. It's a doctor's office, not Fort Knox. Why would the clinic door even be locked? You carefully make your way up the old wooden stairs of the clinic wrap-round porch, avoiding any suspicious creaky-looking steps. You push the door open slowly, just enough for you to slip in, but not enough to risk any sound from the door's ancient hinges. You can see the doc at the desk in some room down the hall. She hasn't noticed you. You shut the door silently, watching her closely. You're in the clinic, free to explore as you please. Or rather, you're free to explore as you please. Joan, what's up, baby? He's on a first-name basis with Kelly. Yeah, you're right. I have to call her Joan. You can feel that odd sensation again, the nagging pull of whatever it was that wanted you to find it. You've been caught by its gravity, an overwhelming curiosity guiding you around a corner and towards a dark doorway under the stairs. It's been left ajar, as if inviting you to enter. The lights click on. You're in the morgue. Bruce, what are you doing in the morgue? Flirt. Am I interrupting something? No, I was just practicing, I guess. Sometimes I just come down here to rehearse. Not gonna lie, this kind of weird, dude. You're the one who just wandered into a morgue. His words seem distant to you. The tugging is strong down here. You can almost feel yourself slipping into a trance, and your eyes wander to the back wall of the morgue. You need to see what's back there. Follow the pull. You touch the wall. It feels disappointingly solid under your palms. Are you are you okay? You feel Reese's hand gently shake your shoulder, and for a moment, the thing on the other side of the wall, white wall, loosens its pull on you. You kind of looked possessed for a second there. Are you good? Make him understand. Why wall? Need see things, but wall stand in way. Reese glanced back at the wall. Are you trying to get at something behind the wall? Kind of has a bad vibe, doesn't it? This is probably a bad idea, but if you really need to get in there, I'm pretty sure there's an emergency axe somewhere upstairs. I'll just need to get the doc out of our hair. Should take 2 seconds. Get the doc out of our hair. Yeah, if I say I'm sick and need something, she'll drop whatever she's doing and do it for me. Surefire way to get her out of the house. And most of the time it's true anyway. Use what you got to get what you need. No shame in that. Exactly. Why use axe when I have arms? Why not break one with fist? I am not an expert, but I'm guessing it would be more efficient for you to use those big arms to wield an axe instead of tearing into the wall like some kind of wild animal. Though that would be super cool to see. I'll be right back. He strides past you, his long arms moving swiftly. He seems excited, his usual dour demeanor replaced with an uncharacteristic pep when faced with the prospect of sneaking around and tearing through walls. You hear his soft voice filtering in through the open doorway at the top of the stairs, a hoarse and sickly edge added for effect as he speaks to his mother. Punch the walls! Hey, Mom. He coughs gently. Reese, I didn't know you were awake. I still feel like shit, but I think I can finally try to keep some juice down. It looks like we're all out, though. Really? I thought I'd just pick some up. I got an errand to run on Main Street anyways. I'll go pick up some orange juice and some ginger ale too. That would be awesome. Sorry to ask. I know you're probably busy. It's no problem. It doesn't take long. Don't do anything too strenuous while I'm gone. Just lie in bed until I get back. Thanks, Mom. I'll take it easy. You hear her footsteps move down the hall, and then the front door opening and closing. It worked! The theatric rasp has left his voice, excitement rising in its place. Come on up. We don't have long until she's back. As you step out of the morgue, you relax. The extra space between you and the carving has weakened its hold on you, and with it, your desperation to claw your way through the wall and veil it. It's one of those emergency fire axes, so it should be pretty obvious wherever it is, though I'm not sure where she would keep it. I'll show you around. Let's try the doctor's office first. Make your way through the door to her now vacant office. I don't see an axe in here. He's right. A cursory glance reveals nothing but stacks of papers and cabinets of medicinal supplies. Something on the desk catches your eye, some sort of record with your family's name on them. You scoop up the folder, tucking the documents in for your later perusal. Reese watches you with curiosity. Stealing medical documents? If my family is going to keep secrets from me, I'd better learn what I can. Totally. Steal anything you need to. You've got a mystery to solve. I'm not going to stand in your way. Let's check the medical supply room next. I can imagine a room full of chemicals being a place someone might want to keep an axe. Better be careful stealing stuff in there, though. That might really get you in trouble. You turn around and leave the office. It's time to move on. Come on, let's keep looking. There it is. Looks like it needs a key, though. We'd better not break the glass. I'd rather explain why I had to steal the axe after we've had a chance to use it. There must be a key in here somewhere. He stops as if listening to something you can't hear. Shit, she's back already. As if on cue, you hear the front door to the clinic open and close. The creak of its antique hinges echoing down the hallway. Footsteps start down the hall. She's headed this way. Quick, we gotta hide. I'm not supposed to be in here. He opens the closet door and hurriedly motions you inside. You slip past him, scrunching into the small space as best you can. He attempts to slide in after you. There's not enough room. Hide somewhere else. You close the door as Reese scrambles to find a new hiding spot. Shit. He lets out a panicked whisper as he scrambles to find another spot. A few tense seconds slip past before Dr. Kelly finally arrives at the threshold of the supply room, storming in with what sounds like a shopping bag in tow. You can barely hear Reese's small sigh of relief as the footsteps recede back down the hallway. That was the door to our house. We're in the clear. Let's go. You leave the closet. Reese quickly and quietly starts pulling out drawers, scanning them for keys. Let Reese handle it. You watch while he rifles through drawers, content to let him figure it out. Soon there's a jingling of keys and he turns to you, victorious. Here we go! They're even color-coded. She made this so easy. Reese pauses to look at the plant on the table. It was weird of her to drop that off, right? Why would she put some alien-looking fruit in the supply room? She's not a pharmacist. She's not supposed to make her own medicine. This room is for storing stuff she orders from an actual pharmacist, and I doubt it's decorative. Could always eat it and see what it does. Okay, so I kind of want to say we could always eat it and see what it does, but I know what it is. If you wanted me to try a route where we try to avoid it, we could try Who Cares, We've Got Bigger Fish to Fry. But I still think he's going to figure it out. I don't think he's going to drop it. So I guess what we'll do is this. Just to see what the dialogue option does. Who cares, we've got bigger fish to fry. Yeah, we're on the clock. Don't want to get caught in here. He shoves a berry from the weird plant into his pocket. Yeah, so he's still going to look it up regardless, which means that there is no avoiding this path. So we'll go ahead and make the joke about eating it. Because if he's taking the berry, he's going to look it up. We could always eat it and see what it does. I'm not going to be the one to try that, but I'm taking this with me. He shoves a berry from the weird plant into his pocket. I'll meet you down there. I've got to come up with something to cover for the noise. But regardless, he's going to be curious about that plant. That's what I'm saying is that's an unavoidable plot point. Just like the mind collapse, just like the shotgun in the woods, these are unavoidable plot points. He hands you the axe, and you make your way back down the hallway towards the morgue. You follow Reese's instruction, once again starting down the basement stairs, letting the pull of the stone carving guide you back to the morgue. Dr. Kelly's voice filters down from above. I was right. We did already have juice. It was just in the back of the fridge, but there's no harm in having extra. What are you doing in the clinic? I thought I told you to go get rest. Oh, I'm just gonna chill in the morgue. I got my speakers. If you hear some weird sounds, it's just my music. I'll be sure to put in earplugs to drown out all that industrial clanging you listen to. You know, I'm not the biggest fan of you spending time down there. It can't be good for your mental health to hang out in that refrigerator of corpses. Do you at least have a blanket this time? Yeah, I'll be fine. It's just a change of scenery. My room feels too claustrophobic right now. Okay, I'll let you know when it's time for dinner. You hear the door close and the sounds of Reese descending the stairs to join you in the fluorescent lit room below. Hey. May I make the first blow? Go for it. You approach the far end of the morgue, axe practically slinging through the air as you strike the wall. It's like cutting through butter. I'm not sure. You were right. You could have torn through it with your bare hands. You stagger back from the massive hole in the wall and admire your effort. I don't know, maybe? Holy shit. Splintering edge frames of dark passage, seemingly cut deep into the side of the cliff, cold seeping from the forgotten space into the already frigid morgue. Reese coughs as he takes a better look at what lies beyond the wall and the wound in the wall. There's a whole hallway back there. Stale, thick air leaks from the hole, filling the morgue with an earthly mildew smell, like the room is slowly filling with dirt. And with the stink of the grave-like room beyond comes an even stronger compulsion you step towards. You climb into the hole. This is wild. I had no idea any of this was here. An entire hospital wing rotting away for decades behind some flimsy drywall. His voice sounds distant. Your sole focus is finding it. Your feet move without prompting, and you stumble down the hallway towards the far wall, barely registering the antique clutter as you stagger past it. Whoa, are you okay? You don't respond, and you don't bother to retrieve the axe. The wall is rotten, water damage having eaten away at the wood over the course of unknowable years. The planks nearly reduced to sawdust. You tear into it. Enoch, I thought you weren't going to come. I was worried you'd leave me here forever. They said there's nothing they can do. I'll never use my legs again. Enoch, what am I going to do? Calm down, Teddy. These doctors don't know what they're talking about. I've been doing my own research, and I found us an alternative. We don't have to worry about anything from here out anymore. I promise. I went to talk to the witch. Witch? But that's nonsense. It's all right. It's all sorted. We're taking you home today, and everything will be resolved by this time next week. Everything goes black. Your vision swims back into focus, and it takes a solid second or two to reorient yourself. You're in an unfamiliar bed. Reese leans against the far wall, eyeing you with concern and curiosity. Hey, I was worried you'd slipped into a coma or something. You tore down a wall like a wild animal, found some weird carving and collapsed. I think you might have had some kind of seizure. Are you okay? Wait, nothing spooky happened? The mountain didn't collapse on us? No ghosts? No, nothing. You just kind of fell. Twitched a little, and when you seemed stable, I carried you back here. That was a few hours ago. You carried me through a hole in the wall and up a bunch of stairs? What? It wasn't super far or anything. I just picked you up and carried you. I might be sick a lot, but that doesn't mean I'm made of paper. I can still do normal people things. Normal people can't pick me up like a child. You must be really strong. Really? Thanks. I guess I don't have much of a frame of reference for what normal people can do. I still have those documents I swiped, right? Yeah, you should still have them on you. Sure enough, you pull out the file containing medical documents about your family. Cause of death, sleep apnea. Discovered by her daughter Tabitha Chrysanthemum Scarlet. No autopsy performed. Edwardine's death certificate. Edwardine Scarlet, born April 9th, 1913, died February 12th, 2003, aged 89. Cause of death, heart failure. Signed by her granddaughter Pearl Ann Scarlet. Pretty normal. Almost made it to 90. Died of normal old person illness. Enoch's death certificate. Enoch Scarlet. Died at age 69. Cause of death, falling from a cliff. This one has a coroner report attached. Organ sustained impact injuries. Lacerations to the neck and body, inconsistent with falling from a great height. Wonder if Enoch was murdered. You quickly flip through a few of the other Scarlets whose names aren't quite as familiar. Theodore Scarlet, so that's probably Teddy, I would assume. Cause of death, crushed in mine collapse. Body not recovered. Signed by his brother Enoch Scarlet. Okay, so then this was a fake death certificate based on the vision. Because the body was recovered, but his legs were crushed, and Enoch had the witch do something to fix it. And then, so this is a fake death certificate. Theodore Scarlet didn't actually die. I'm assuming, if I'm like piecing things together correctly. Joseph Scarlet, I don't know this one. Louis Scarlet, I don't know that one either. Both killed in Normandy in the line of duty. These must have been Edwardine's brothers. So they died in the war. Okay. Certificate of fetal death, infant boy. Mother, Edwardine Scarlet. Okay, so Edwardine had an infant who died as well. I don't know if that actually matters. Cause of death, complications during birth, no doctor present, home burial. There was no doctor present at the birth and a home burial. There's some information missing here. Alexandra Scarlet. This is the doll in our closet. It's that Alexandra is the name on the foot. Missing, presumed dead. Signed by Mother Edwardine Scarlet. Alexandra, the owner of the doll, she also went missing. Mary Belle Scarlet. That's the portrait on our wall. She was aged 17 when she died. Cause of death is complication during childbirth, signed by her mother, Edwardine. Does Dr. Kelly know I'm here? No, I snuck you back into the house while she was busy in the medical storage room. Figured you wouldn't want to come into the morgue. I think Dr. Kelly should probably look me over. These seizures can't be good for me. I don't think you'll want her to do that. While you were out, I looked this up. She's not the kind of doctor you want in charge of your health care. I should know. I'm the one she's been poisoning for years. I refuse to take my medicine, so she went on a warpath up there. I have no idea what she's doing, but I've blocked my door, so she can't get down here. Now, we just have to wait her out. You locked your door? Of course I did. Put a chair in front of it. Never failed me before. We don't need her coming down here to finish me off or whatever it is she might do now that I know what her treatment plan has been all these years. But now we're just locked downstairs. Maybe I was a little panicked, but when I found out what she had been giving me, and she was upstairs talking through the door saying I should just take my pills, and I took what few precautions I could. It's not ideal, but at least it buys us time to figure out what to do. We should treat her as a serious threat. This might sound strange, but I think she's gone to some desperate lengths in the past. There are these weird memories I have. I always assumed they were just dreams or hallucinations, but now I'm not so sure. I think she's used tranquilizers on me. Other times that I've gotten too unruly for her. I don't know how much of those memories I can trust, but I'm starting to think I should believe my instincts when it comes to the lengths she's willing to go to keep me under her control. We'll wait till she's asleep, and then we can at least get out the basement. We can figure out what to do from there. Why would your mom poison you? I don't know. But the internet says this is castor bean. It's used to make ricin. Super deadly poison that causes some of my exact symptoms. And death, usually. The thing I can't figure out is whether she's been trying to kill me slowly or if she just likes keeping me sick enough to be dependent on. Either way, I don't think I either had an illness. I think the illness was me growing up and becoming less easy to control. She sure found a cure for that. With your evidence, you should be able to go to the cops. Maybe not the local cops, but a cop. I do have the castor bean from the pharmacy, but I still have to prove where I got it from, and that she used it to poison me. It's possible the cops might think I just snapped, and it could turn out even worse for me. I don't think the doc would hesitate to have me committed if she thinks it meant she could keep her hold on me. Ricin is really bad. How are you not dead? I don't know. Maybe it's low enough doses, or maybe I developed a tolerance. But I think the fact that I feel more and more alive by the minute is enough proof that she was keeping me sick. I don't even need solid evidence. No matter what, we should get out of this basement soon. Where would we go? The only person I know who has a car is Kanika, and she's not answering her phone. I don't know anyone else. I don't have any other family to go to. I never even finished high school. When I get out of this house, I don't know how I'll make it. I don't know how I can make sure I don't wind up right back down here. One step at a time. Let's just start by waiting your mom out and getting out of here. You shouldn't call her my mom. As far as I'm concerned, she forfeited that title. I don't even think I should call her doctor. She's just some woman now. Can't wait for her to be in the rearview mirror for the rest of my life. We'll see if we can wait her out. If she doesn't fall asleep by 10, we can figure something else out. These windows are supposedly shatterproof, which she always said was for burglars. Now I assume it was yet another way to keep me boxed in. But we can try to break them anyways. That action seems like a good idea. As you can probably tell, I'm getting a little jittery. Maybe it's lack of poison in my system for the first time in years, or the fact that my whole perception of reality has been turned on its head. Probably a combo. It doesn't feel awful, to be honest. Do whatever it is you do to kill time. Preferably something that'll help me ignore my mounting anxiety. I only do two things, paint and watch movies. I doubt watching me paint would be entertaining enough to distract you. I'd just be leaving it behind in an hour or two anyway, so movie it is. Go ahead and get comfy, I'll pick something you might like. You know, I've been wanting to share Cheat Death Blood with someone for years. Reese gets the movie set up and joins you on the bed. Let me know if it gets to be too much for you. Not a great judge of how other people will react to the sorts of things I watch, but I definitely don't want you to feel uncomfortable. This is a slow burn of a movie, but the dread it's managing to build is palpable in the room. Or maybe that's just how you feel down here all the time. What with the Grimsley paintings, lack of lighting, and cinder block walls, and of course, the fact that the woman currently lurking upstairs has been poisoning her son since his teens. I've seen a couple of his directors. I've seen a couple of this director's other films, and they're all interesting, but this is probably the best introduction to his work. The way it jump cuts is to seemingly unrelated TV show recordings and then winds up tying back to the narrative adds a level of realism and depth to the world that I find really engrossing. It's found footage used to its fullest. I can't believe I'll be able to just do things from here on out, like watch movies and with another person or talk to people. You can hear the difference in energy now that Reese hasn't had his daily dose of poison. He's uncharacteristically chatty, clearly not used to talking to another person, let alone when he has the energy to carry on a long conversation. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. First, we have to get out of this basement. That's true. I shouldn't be counting my chickens. We still need to get past that woman upstairs. He tenses, his back straightening, his muscles clenching as he's reminded of the obstacles. Hopefully, we can just wait her out. If not, he trails off, but his features soften as he once again reimmerses himself in the film. The man on the screen yells portents of doom into the camera, trailing off into a wordless scream. The plot is really heating up. I love that there are all these distinct sorts of vignettes, little pockets of horror that affect a small number of people. And only once you start to see how they fit together can you realize some fundamental horror about the universe. And then it sees you back. Incredible cosmic horror in the truest sense. Reese is becoming very animated. It's possibly safe to assume that he's dealing with a lot of extra adrenaline right now. What with his entire reality turning out to be a lie. But he's also talking over the movie. I think a movie is too chill for you right now. Maybe we should just figure out how to leave. Oh, I'm so sorry. Am I talking too much? I'm usually not used to having anyone else around. I'm feeling a little overwhelmed with everything. I think I'm hopped up on adrenaline or something. But we don't have to leave just yet. I can settle down. Reese is doing the opposite of settling down. His movements are becoming erratic, his voice rising in volume. Though maybe you're right. Maybe we shouldn't just keep waiting. The longer we wait, the more likely it is that woman upstairs will figure out that we're onto her. And it would be too easy for her to lock me up again and be thorough about it this time. There's a knock on the window. Bruce, don't get any closer to that thing. It's time to go home. That voice. I know that voice. Without another word, Wayne starts pounding on the supposedly shatterproof window. My boyfriend's back You're gonna be in trouble. Hey, my boyfriend's back. Enemies upstairs, enemies outside. We're surrounded. Even if we get out of this house, I won't be safe. You won't be safe. What do you mean? Wayne isn't gonna hurt you. He hasn't hurt anyone. Yes, he will. He's furious with me. Can't you hear it? But I'm not weak anymore. I can fight back. I don't have to cower in fear from the people who want to hurt me. I can protect both of us, Bruce. The window shatters. As Reese tears at his clothes, ink bubbles out from the canvases, his ghoulish figures peeling themselves out of their two-dimensional worlds, invading yours, clawing up the walls. Grab my hand, I'll pull you out. Leave us alone. In a surge of violence, change that has been brewing inside Reese finally comes. As it manifests, the broken basement window is sealed off, and Wayne along with it. Run for the stairs. Wayne, save me! You've seen enough to know you need to leave. You run up the stairs. The door is blocked by a chair, and then it's blocked by something else, too. You toss the chair out of the way and tear through the paintings covering the wall door. They stretch, rip, yellow and red blobs of paint coating your hands in place of viscera. Finally, the wood's slippery in your painted grip. You fling the door open. Rush to the front door. Freedom! You rush to the front door. But the things from the paintings are faster. They flow out of every crack of the wood, flattening themselves against the doorframe. You pull, but it's sealed shut, as if they'd learned from their first attempt. And they hear the thunder of massive footsteps coming from the basement stairs. You turn to witness Reese. I can't let anyone leave right now. She might find a way out, but it's okay. I'll make it so she won't be able to hurt anyone anymore. Go back downstairs. You'll be safe there. You size Reese up. You're going to need some heavier firepower than your fists to deal with him. Okay, what's the best way to handle this? Maybe quietly return to the basement. You do as you're told and return to the basement. Reese says you should stay here, so you will. There are a few moments of silence, and it's uninterrupted by some kind of percussive sound, like a quiet gunshot. You hear heavy, stumbling footsteps. Then Dr. Kelly screams. It cuts out, interrupted. You can only imagine why. The silence returns. Then footsteps on the stairs down to the basement. It's done. She's not a problem anymore. You drop a heavy right hook on Reese. The impact feels like you're striking a heavy bag. Wow, that felt like nothing. Guess those big muscles aren't all that formidable after all. I can tell you have good form, though. You should teach me sometime. I'd like to finally learn what this body can do. Why have my fists failed me? Don't be too hard on yourself. You're a lot stronger than most people. There's a crack on the stairs above you. There's a creak on the stairs above you. Come along, Bruce. Don't waste another second talking to it. It's unstable. You're real. I am. Better get running. Your terror in his eyes. Reese scrambles through the window, bounds off into the wilderness, his creations pouring out after him. Shall we? What is he? A mistake. Aren't you going after him? No, he's not worth my time now that you're safe. Okay. Honey, I'm home! You follow Wayne out of the clinic and back onto Main Street. The night is oddly warm compared to the chill of the day. Crickets singing quietly in the sleepy little neighborhood. Everything that happened in the clinic feels almost like a dream. And now that it's over, you realize how little it meshes with the understanding of the world. Are you coming with me? It's time to go home. Before you and Wayne cover much ground, you're interrupted by the jingling of dog tags. As you turn to look for the source, your companion seemingly vanishes from your side. Gretchen appears at the edge of the road, running as fast as her geriatric pug legs can carry her. Gretchen seems distressed. She whines as she stares up at you from the ground, her eyes desperate, anxiously jumping back and forth and darting away from you to try to lean down to her. Sorry, Gretch, I'm really tired. You continue walking back to the state, doing your best to ignore Gretchen's ever distant whines. Eventually, you're far enough away that you stop hearing her, and then the voice of your companion returns. All done for the night? I thought I'd give you a little space, shall we? It's time for you to get home. He appears as if out of nowhere, clothes streaked with what at first looks like blood and gore, but you quickly realize is paint. I'll walk you. Thanks, I appreciate the company. Shall we? Yeah! Wayne walks just ahead of you, in near complete silence. Did you know Reese was like that? I knew he was different. How exactly, I wasn't sure. But now I know. I should be able to make quick work of him next time. Thanks, he, scares me. If it's any constellation, I'm sure he's not long for this world. I doubt he'll have time to hurt anyone else before someone else puts him down. I thought you wanted me to stay at the estate. Aren't you going to lecture me? You were free to make your own decisions, and those decisions have been made. I know that something pulls at you, and now that it's started, I know that you cannot stop until your task is finished. I'll keep you safe while you do what you must. Thanks for looking out for me tonight. Anytime you find yourself in danger, I'll be there for you. I will always be there for you. You can't stay away, can you? You must really like me. I do, and I'm concerned for you. I want to make sure someone is always looking out for you. Think of me as something of a guardian angel if you'd like. Can I do more flirting? Why do I just get one chance? I could have held his hand. Damn. You continue in silence back to the estate. I'm sure we'll see each other tomorrow. You should try to spend some time in that old building before you head to town. Tabitha won't be around, too busy at the mines. Forbidden places won't be forbidden without her there to stop you. You might be surprised at what you find. Until then, sleep well. He disappears into the underbrush. Go home. I wanted to do more flirting. The estate feels empty. Wind howling through its abandoned halls, the very foundations creaking beneath you. Your cousin must have already gone to bed. Exhaustion beyond belief, you stumble into your room and collapse onto the bed. The damp smell of the mattress is starting to become almost welcoming, a sign that the now daily horrors of Scarlet Hollow are finally behind you, at least until the sun inevitably rises once again. You close your eyes, your exhausted body succumbing to sleep almost immediately. As you drift off, you think of Reese out in the woods somewhere, bloodstained and free. And then you think of nothing. This is the end of episode 4. All right. We're doing good. I didn't save. Can I save? Oh no. What happened? I'm sorry. Okay, if I hit continue. Oh, okay. Okay. Okay, Bruce is saved. Like, oh no! Bruce! Okay, awesome. So we do have the romance starting with him. I do wonder if I can do more than just... We're gonna skip through... No, I'll do that later. Because I kind of want to get off the game for right now. And see if maybe I can do more than just that, but I don't know if I can do more than that simple flirt. But that was fun. So I think for now we're taking a moment. But let's check. Well, I'm going to end this little video that I'm recording.